the way, and the walls came tumbling down. We made a brand new start. You opened up my heart. We made the greatest love around. Now I could never look at another. You never see me running for cover. Don't need to look for no other lover. Now that you're here to stay, now you're here to stay. Don't go away. Don't ever leave me, baby. Just one smile from you can make my day. We got togetherness. We're just two hearts beating. We got togetherness. We're like two worlds meeting. Togetherness. Two hearts beating one. We got togetherness. We're just two heads turning. Togetherness. We're like two minds learning. We got togetherness. Our love's just begun. As all the years go by, love is the reason why I will always be with you. The magic love can bring keeps me remembering to stay honest, to be true. If I live till the end of forever, I know we always will be together. You know you can depend on me whether life may be good or bad. Good times, bad times, happy times, never sad. You never make me sad, baby. You brought me the best times I've ever had. We got togetherness. Togetherness, baby. Togetherness. Me and you, darling, togetherness. Oh, yeah. We got togetherness. We're just two heads turning. Togetherness. We're like two minds learning. We got togetherness. Our love has begun. Togetherness, we're just two heads turning. Togetherness,
One and
we're
one
like
makes
two
two.
minds learning. Togetherness, our love's just begun. We got togetherness, we're just two hearts beating. Togetherness,
You make me feel
like
so
two worlds
good.
meeting. Togetherness, two hearts
Togetherness, baby.
Hello, my name is Frank Wilson, and I was brought over by Kev Roberts and Richard Serling to perform for the very first time the song Do I Love You, Indeed I Do at the Fleetwood Blackpool all-nighter. We had a fabulous time. In fact, I couldn't believe it. 2,000 screaming fans. It took me completely by surprise that this song has created that much attention and that these people at Fleetwood loved it so much. It really warmed my heart. In fact, I was overwhelmed.
We had two spots at Togetherness. We did the Saturday afternoon, which coincided with the England football match, but we still had a dance floor humming, I'm pleased to say. And then we also did the Saturday night's main all-nighter. For me, I really enjoyed the Saturday afternoon, although, yes, I was the one who lost my voice, and I had to rely heavily on Carl helping me out on that one. Thanks, Carl.
For the next hour and a half, you're going to experience the unfolding of some unbelievable events that took place at this weekend. You're going to hear Snake Davis, Bobby Patterson, and myself. You're going to be thrilled moment by moment by some of the most spectacular kinds of occurrences that take place not only on the stage, but also in the audience. It was a phenomenal weekend.
seems to be some strange link over the years between sort of holiday campsites and Northern Soul. I got my first real taste of it after I'd quit the Northern Soul scene for a while when I was doing Motorcity in 1989 and 1990. A bunch of Northern Soul weekenders at Great Yarmouth in a big caravan site, and we had all these Motorcity artists on. We had Johnny Bristol, Martha Reeves, Richard Popcorn Wiley, Marv Johnson, Pat Lewis, GC Cameron. They all appeared there, these weekenders. They did both the Northern Soul bunch of them. I remember Pat Lewis appeared with the Lorraine Chandler, Eddie Parker, Ray Pollard and Garland Green. They were all on. And I also remember a specific Motorcity one that Edwin Starr was at with GC Cameron, Martha Reeves, Johnny Bristol and all them. I've got video footage of it all. And it was all on this holiday camp, and I was like, I didn't want to stay on site. I remember staying at a hotel in Great Yarmouth. I mean, we're still going back 12 years. And it was just this amazing paradox. Here you are, we're in the middle of winter at the time, gales blowing across the seafront, and suddenly in this deserted holiday camp that no one should normally be interested in being at that time of the year, was all-nighters with Northern Soul. It was a real strange paradox. It seems to have really worked because the Cleethorpes things became very popular over the last few years, and now the Togetherness thing has really become the creme de la creme of these kind of weekenders. So I got quite used to it, as I said, with the Motown weekenders and with the Northern Soul ones that Barry Collins was running all those years ago. They were probably the first ones of their type. It was taken off a Northern Soul version of what they used to have at Caister, the Soul weekenders and stuff, for the Southern Soul people, Chris Hill and Sean French and Froggy and all that used to do. But it's become the norm now. I mean, there is no better venue than Togetherness. Togetherness is the best of the year. It's the one that everybody looks forward to. It's the big meeting point, the best artist, the best venue. It's fantastic.
Well, weekenders historically have always been held in holiday camps. I mean, ever since I was at school as a teenager, going, to the Case of Soul weekenders, they were always held in holiday camps. I never really thought of it in terms of, the carry-on camping kind of aspect to it. I guess because whenever I've been to a weekender over the years, I've never really indulged in like the going and buying provisions and cooking on site and all that kind of stuff. I've always sneaked off to a nice restaurant somewhere, or sometimes even stayed in a nice hotel. So I'm not really one for kind of like mucking in on that kind of environment. And for me, it's purely about the music, and wherever the the event's being held, I never really think of it as, well, what this place does during the summer or anything like that. It's not something that really enters my mind, to be honest with you.
It seems to me that from the early Caisters that were always on holiday camps, it seems that it's the perfect place really, because sometimes they can be a little nostalgic looking, so you get a kind of a feeling there, which builds an atmosphere from the start. So also, I suppose, being slightly out of season, these places are good to hire and easy to hire. So, but the atmosphere is already there, Plus, you don't have to walk miles to get into the venue, which is, unless of course you're unfortunate enough to be down the bottom end of the site like we are. Yeah.
I think all the weekenders are very different. Caister is very southern based and has a tremendous core audience via the golden era, their golden era, which is very much around people like Froggy, Chris Hill, Robbie Vincent, the late great Steve Walsh. Cleethorpes is it kick-started the Rare Soul Weekender, and I suppose it has Togetherness as its competitor. I think where Togetherness though has leapt way in front of Cleethorpes is, one, we have the size of the site, so we can hold a lot more people than Cleethorpes can. I think we've got better facilities, but that's not taking anything away from Cleethorpes, because I think Cleethorpes has possibly more collector types, the type of people who are more interested in the vinyl, in the rarity, and I think there's room for both. But I think with the sheer size of the Caligram, where we've made Togetherness our home, I think we've got the opportunity to double the Cleethorpes audience.
I don't know how many people know this, but the Fleetwood site, which is the Carla Grand, was originally the site that Alex Lowe's held his weekenders before he moved to Southport. So what is now the Southport Weekender, which really is the biggest dance soul weekender going, was originally at the Carla Grand in Fleetwood. And funnily enough, I remember going to see Richard Serling at an Alex Lowe's promoted weekend back in the, must be the early 80s, and taking up this Kenny Burke exclusive that I had from him at the time, and in fact something that we never ever released in the end, and playing it in that same room that we now have the modern soul music, and the track going down really well, and Richard being really excited about playing the track, and that was in that exact same room. And Fleetwood, hopefully it will stay in that site. I think it's a great site, and we've enjoyed the last couple of years, and I think that's where it's going to end up staying for the for the near future anyway.
And hats off to Kevin Roberts, because to organize this thing, it's fantastic. I've never seen a weekend like it. It's great, man. It's just brilliant. I love it. I just love being in the caravan. And I call myself, I was thinking, talking to my old lady, and I said, guess what? We are now officially trailer trash. Ring Jerry Springer. Must go on Springer. We are trailer trash. No, man, it's why I never thought that I could have that much fun in a caravan park. It's brilliant. It's just brilliant. The people are just amazing.
And it does, despite what anybody says, it does take some doing to get 1,500 people on a site like this. With all the arranging that people have to do. When our core base is 35 to 50-year-olds, they've all got families and commitments, and it does take time and planning. And I just think it's worked really well, and hopefully the Cala Grand and the accommodation that this great site gives them makes them want to come back next year.
We had Kenny Bernard, who was a British soul star in the 60s. He came on to do a PA and did a remarkable job.
Daylight come and me want go home. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, bush, yeah. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, bush, yeah. Day-oh, daylight come and we want go home. Daylight come and we wanna go home. Work all night and a drink a rum. Daylight come and we wanna go home. Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and we wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, telling me banana. Daylight come and we wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman.
highly deadly black tarantula. Daylight come and we want go home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you. Daylight come and we want go home. Thank you very much. See you later. See you next year. I'll be back here next year.
This gentleman is absolutely fantastic. He's a nice guy. He loves coming over to England. His name is JJ Barnes. Would you welcome him the way that he should be welcomed? As a Detroit legend, JJ Barnes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow.
The first weekend there weren't as many people here as there are now, but it's as you say, it was heaving in here both nights. So it's becoming a lot more popular. People are trying it for the first time, and they will come back definitely, because it's formed itself as probably one of the best modern soul weekenders, definitely. You know, and from the first one, when it was, I don't know exactly how many people were here, but that's doubled definitely. And in this room, it's good to see, you know, a lot more people coming in here, as opposed to the northern room, which holds its own anyway. You know, this was the room that was kind of in its nascent sort of stage at the start, and it's now built up into something it's got a great atmosphere, and it's very eclectic musically.
Well, the one thing I really love about the Togetherness Soul Weekenders is that the Weekenders are about soul music and nothing else. And that's really been the first time since the late 70s and 80s, when I first used to go to Caister and those kind of Weekenders. I mean, through the 80s, Weekenders kind of took on a bit more of a dance, house music kind of perspective, especially events like the Southport Weekender became dance-led as opposed to soul music-led. And over the years, I think soul music's been downgraded quite a lot, and it's only really taken Fleetwood over the last 2 years, this is going to be the third, that's made an event that is purely 100% soul, northern soul in one room, modern soul in the other, and it's fantastic.
Coming in tune I know it's called In the Bottle, Mason Link. Incognito produced wicked stuff. Alright, we're going to stay like this for a while, keeping the tempo up for a bit. The Lucy track I got from Fish a while ago. It's called Good Lovin', stay with it.
Both rooms have worked really well, you're absolutely right. They've both got their own identity. And there's also a lot of people that have been switching, mainly from the northern room into the modern room, that have just been amazed by the atmosphere in that modern room. It helps when it's a low ceiling. The main room here is a big room to fill, you know, it really is. And therefore atmosphere in there is more difficult to attain. But the modern room, as we saw with Bobby Patterson this afternoon, just springs into another dimension somehow, and it's got 200-300 people in there. And actually, strangely enough, Friday night was just awesome in there. It really was, and we thought Saturday would be even better. It wasn't better, it was as good probably. But for a Friday, I mean, it was just unreal. I can't even put it into words how good it was.
The modern room has expanded greatly. I think there's a wide variety of music being played now. I think as the event becomes a bit more cosmopolitan, we are getting away now from just the rare tag, and there's different windows of opportunity for other records to be played. I mean, for the first time ever, we did a sort of fun boogie session where it was almost disco on Saturday afternoon. Now, one or two collectors may find that not to their liking, but there is a huge market for it, and I think we should, at certain times in a Rare Soul Weekend, embrace the very roots of the culture, as I say, in the modern room, to play some records that were chart records even. We were hearing the Intruders, we were hearing from the 80s, Skipworth and Turner, the Mary Jane Girls. I think that's fantastic and very much part of the weekend. And to counteract that, in the northern room, on Sunday night we started last year a Roots of where we play Motown, we play Kim Weston, we play the Contours, we play Ardeen Taylor, we play the very Sam and Dave, the very, very early roots of soul. So I'd like to think that we've got a hugely adventurous playlist.
You know, the thing you must remember about the soul scene is that, you know, back in the day, back in the 70s, it was pop music. I remember going to Caister and records like, you know, Lionel Richie's All Night Long being broken at an event like that, and Cool and the Gang, you know, Ladies Night and Get Down On It and records like that. They were records that started off on the big all-day weekender scene and went on to be, you know, huge, huge hits. I mean, I remember, you know, records like Fan and Whiteheads, Ain't No Stopping Us Now, and, you know, Billy Paul's Bring the Family Back, things like that. They started off, you know, as an import that came in from the States, weren't released in the UK. You know, the big soul DJs sort of, you know, adopted those kind of records, played them like crazy in all the soul gigs and the weekenders, and then they were released in the UK. And because, you know, soul music in those days, you know, was more fashionable within the mainstream, you know, they were hit records.
Sounds of lightness. You've got to be optimistic.
You know, after the success of the two Togetherness weekenders, and obviously we're going into a third weekender now, we thought, this is Richard Searling and myself, it might be a good idea to have an album that basically reflected the kind of music that had been played in the weekenders over the last 2 years, and tracks that we thought were going to be big this year as well. And to be kind of brutally honest with you, that idea didn't exactly stem just from that. It also came from a scene that is developing to quite a large extent on the continent, especially in Sweden. I had the good fortune to DJ there a few times this year, and the soul scene in Sweden in general, in Stockholm, Malmö, Lund, places like that, is absolutely massive. And the one good thing about that is that it is attracting students, younger people, and there's some massive clubs out there like Fusion. And Fusion came up with the idea of doing a compilation for their scene about a year or so ago, and they licensed a couple of tracks that have been big on the Expansion label, which were the Kula Desma track Dreaming, and also Lenny Williams' Got a Lot of Love. And this album was absolutely massive over there, so we thought, well, if they can do it out there, we haven't done a compilation for a few years, so really using that compilation as a kind of a matrix in a way, let's do one ourselves and see how we get on with it, and also maybe even sell some back to Sweden. I know their album out there had sold in excess of 10,000, so hence the idea for Soul Togetherness. It's not out yet. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it together for the third weekender, but I know there's going to be some tracks on there that are going to be played, such as the Ivan Matthias, the Tower of Power, Gene Chandler. There's all sorts of things on there that are going to be big out there. So that's basically the idea of it. And the year 2000 was a good year to start the series, and I think from here on in we'll do one each year. In fact, we're already thinking about what we're going to put on Soul Togetherness 2001.
I play mainly new material, but you know, with a few 70s things put in as well. But I actually love the 70s music, but it kind of, there's specialist sessions for that. You know, in the afternoon sometimes that gets played. It's more. I tend to play more of the up-tempo dancey soul, really, that, you know, which is better for the evenings. But there has been a good mixture here.
Well, I really am going to have to make a move soon because I'm running late. So I've just got a few last-minute records to put together. Start with these sevens, I suppose. Well, I'm definitely going to have to take the Spinners because that is absolutely massive at the moment. I Just Want to Fall in Love. Bessie Banks, Betty Swan, big record. Take that. Gail Easton, will I play that? Not really a particularly big record at the moment, but I absolutely love it. Probably not the Nancy Wilson. Pet Brown, I'm the One Who Needs You. Massive sort of polydor track. Stephanie Mills, now I probably will play that. It's the B-side on this, not Sweet Sensation. Wish That You Were Mine, absolutely wonderful sort of M2 Lucas kind of track.
And talking of B-sides, M2 and Lucas together with the wonderful Stephanie Mills.
Spinners, I've already got that on a 7, probably don't need the album, though I do like to play tracks off albums because of the quality. Manhattan's just a bit of a discovery of mine, actually. Nice little Philly thing. Not many people know this album. That's How Much I Love You, name of the album. And the track I like to play off this is I Don't Want to Pay the Price of Losing You, which in actual fact is going to be on our Soul Togetherness album. So if you don't have the album, wait for that. Few Philly things. It's the one great thing about doing these gigs is I do get a chance to play some of the things I managed to put out myself, either through the Passion label or Expansion. Carolyn Crawford, Anthony White, Archie Bell. Never go anywhere without a Gene Carn record, so that's going to be in there. I need to find a Phyllis Hyman. I don't go anywhere without Phyllis Hyman, so there's got to be one around here somewhere. Jeffrey, little independent things, massive. Derek Hughes, now this is probably one of the most underrated albums of the year. There's a track on this particular album called All for Love. That's the title track. Probably one of the best dance records of the year. And one thing I have to say about a lot of records that come out these days is it's very difficult to find a really good dance track. A lot of albums come out, a lot of tracks are great for radio, like Jazz FM that play a lot of smooth soul, a lot of smooth R&B. And a lot of the R&B albums that come out today tend to be a little bit slow, very difficult to play in a club, but there's a track on here, All for Love, as I said, absolutely wonderful. Looking forward to playing that. I will definitely play that. It's also, believe it or not, on our Soul Togetherness album, but that's not out yet, so I'm going to have to play it off that. Incognito, that's off a CDR. This is an exclusive, features May Salik. Wasn't on the last album, got missed off, but my little friend Giles at Talking Loud ran this off for me specially. My Book of Love, Phil Perry, great album, may play something off that. Again, that's going to be one of the best albums of the year 2000. And what else have we got here? Glenn Jones, always take a bit of Glenn Jones with me. Probably not going to need that. Dennis Taylor, I did mention that album earlier. Now I need my Leon Ware. I've got this Leon Ware CDR. It's got 6 tracks from the Musical Massage album that have never ever come out. A friend of mine who works in Motown in New York did a little sneaky, he ran me off a CDR from the tape bolts basically. Very, very naughty, but there's a couple of nice things on that I'm probably going to play.
This is the 3rd weekender that's happened. I've worked here since the first one, and this room has now really formed its own identity. And the atmosphere in here, especially on the Friday, was excellent, you know, and everybody's up for whatever's being played. So, you know, it's a cross section of music from the 70s right up to what's happening now, and also a lot of stuff that's about to be released gets a kind of a first airing in this room. But it's also been about a lot of the classic records, you know, that have gone down with the punters that have been coming to weekenders here, and from before. You know, there's records that have become classics, and they're also getting played here, which is good.
Right, this, by the way, is the very untidy section of my office here at Expansion Records, and I probably will play a few Expansion things at the Weekender. We've just got the new Lamont Dozier album, a couple of nice things on that. But I'm definitely really pleased to be able to put this out, the Inner Shade album, featuring Chris Ballin on vocals and May Salik. Wonderful track on here. Tell Me Something, definitely going to play that. So I'll take that with me. The Woody Cunningham, we've just done an EP of the dancier tracks from the 2 albums, so I'm probably going to take one of those. But that's about it, because I'm really, really running late. I'm going to have to go, so sorry about that. I'll see you later.
Getting to the Togetherness weekend was a real fraught event. I went with Ralph T and Simon White. We went in Ralph's car. And Ralph was late anyway because he was late sorting his records out. To get them all together at the last minute. And we got in the car and we're heading up there. And we went the wrong way on the M5. I don't know how we did it because the traffic was so bad we were trying to take a shortcut and avoid it. We were warned of big traffic jams up ahead. So we decided, going up on the M40 where it joins the M6, we go on the M5 and skirt and join at Wolverhampton. And we just were on the M5 and further and further and further on the M5. And I said, Ralph, there's something wrong here. And I suddenly realised we were nearly in Gloucester, so we had to turn around. Ralph, I'm sure we're going the wrong way. Ralph, look, that's Gloucester. They're coming up to... Ralph, what are you doing? We're going the wrong way on the M5. We're going towards Gloucester. We're supposed to be going towards Fleetwood. We're hours late. Turn round. What are we going to do? Ralph, what the f*** have you done?
Next track's, again, more of a listener than a dancer, but brilliant. Produced by Joe, Changing Faces, That Other Woman.
DJ lineup in here, you've got people like Terry Jones from London, Gary Dennis from Essex. You've also got you know, Richard Serling, people from all over the country that are working here. Mike Stevens from Manchester. So it's it's coming together of all the DJs that work throughout the year in the clubs around the country as well.
To see Frank Wilson doing Do I Love You? I mean, I know the record's worth £15,000 and all of that, but it's not really for me. I think I'm going to be spending more of my time in the modern room, listening to DJs like Terry Jones and Andy Davis, you know, and Mike Stevens, who I just think are fabulous to listen to. I'd rather listen to the records than spend too much time watching the acts in the northern room, to be honest with you.
You Can Bury Me with that record. That is Vivian Reid and the Magnificent. Save Your Love For Me, especially for Sue. This one for Taff, Pretenders. Sunday morning, come on. Sunday.
The modern soul side of the Togetherness Weekenders is really a smaller consideration. I mean, the Northern Soul is really what drives that weekend. They've got the big room, they have the live acts. The Modern Soul room is a much smaller room, and whereas the Northern room, when they put a live act on in there, they have a live band. I mean, Snake Davis has been there for the last couple of years providing the instrumentation, and a fabulous job he does of that. In the modern room, the acts that have been there over the last couple of years have played to like a backing tape. It's not been a live situation. And I had the embarrassing, a very embarrassing situation the first year we did Fleetwood, in that we were due to have Kashif, who's an expansion artist, come over from the United States to perform live. We were just about to drop his album on the label. We were all very excited about that. I mean, the tracks had been heard on the modern soul scene. There's a few of the tracks being played a lot. And literally the day before he was due to jump on a plane, come to Fleetwood, he announced that he had some terrible kind of hay fever or sinus problems or God knows what it was, and announced that he wasn't going to be able to make it. And I had the job of having to go on stage 1 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday and announce that he wasn't going to be there. And that was so embarrassing for me because A, I had to do it, B, it was an expansion act. But also it was embarrassing because a lot of people had come down just to see him. I mean, the guy's a legend from the 80s, and a lot of people had never seen him before, and a lot of people had come to see him, and it was just like awful when he never showed up. I mean, that was literally one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me. The only good thing to come out of it was that I managed to nab his suite at the hotel in Fleetwood, but I'm keeping that one to myself, so you can't use that in the video.
The days are melting into each other. You can see my eyes are like, you know, Dracula or something. But I'm not the only one. First, I woke up this morning with Jack Daniels in hand. Somebody shoved in my hand. And I think I went out last night listening to the rainfall and thinking that I'm swimming in an ocean of lager. And I woke up some hours later this morning with Jack Daniels. This is breakfast. I had to fix some breakfast. And I thought, what? But I don't really drink that much. I had a lager. I mean, I can hold my own, but I'm not really a drinker. But hey, man, everybody went wallop, so I just followed through. Yeah, okay, wallop. Next thing, somebody from one of the trailers, one of these, oh man, one of the band came over. Bam, bam, bam. Hey, yeah, Jim, come in. Came in, the next thing I know, bottle of wine, you know. Here we go again, and the next thing I know, yeah, I'm back at the club. And everybody see me just picked out, it's just one continuation, little weekend. And it's only Saturday. Christ's sakes. Beautiful weekend. Beautiful, this is the most beautiful, the longest beautiful night ever.
Jimmy Thomas joined us. Jimmy, of course, started out with Ike and Tina Turner Review, and he had a couple of Northern Soul classics himself, and is quite revered within the Northern Soul fraternity.
I first met the legendary Jimmy Thomas 30 years ago. He'd been living in Los Angeles, working with Ike and Tina Turner. He came over to England and he had a record out called We Ain't Here Looking for No Trouble, which was quite a cult mod record at the time. He's been forgotten now. Anyway, he had two very big Northern Soul records, Where There's a Will There's a Way on the Merwood label, and The Beautiful Night on Parlophone, which was a record that he'd actually recorded over in England with him and P.P. Arnold doing the backing vocals. And in the early days of Northern Soul scene, these things broke. I became quite friendly with Jimmy. I used to go, he's in a road called Chepstow Crescent. And when I used to first visit London from Blackpool, I used to go down and go out for dinner with him and met him and everything. And I've got a wonderful photo of me and him at the Torch together in 1972. So it's 28 years ago, me and Jimmy Thomas taking the Torch. So Kev Roberts put it in his book, Top 500 Northern Soul Singers of All Time. Quite an honour to have that picture. And the actual weekender, Jimmy was there and I actually showed him the book. He was gobsmacked to see it because although I've changed quite a lot, he looked exactly the same. 28 years later, he hasn't changed at all. Anyway, he apparently bought the house down. I wasn't there on a Friday night, but I'm told he was wonderful. And we decided to get him to come and sing the title song for this actual special focus on the Weekender. So we wrote a song called Togetherness for Jimmy, especially for this weekend.
got to do it. I just want to know if y'all believe that tonight. If you believe it, let me hear you say, yeah! Oh, no. Y'all won't believe it. One more time. If you believe it, say, yeah! All right. Now, what we going to do? Let's give it a little northern soul stomp out. Come on now. Well, that is it. It's got to be a way. You can die a day. Whatever people say. Whatever will. It's got to be a way.
I was fired up anyway. Sweating in the heat, and everybody, and it was just wonderful. And finally I fought my way back over to the side of the bandstand, getting ready to come on and listen to Snake and the Boys kick. And went on stage and hey, what can I say? Hey, no, it was fantastic. I just loved it. It was so much, it's more, I think, from my perspective, I don't know if everybody feel like me, but from my perspective, I think probably more passion was experienced last night for moi than in the whole of I don't know, maybe 10 years of living in a big city. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, Jimmy Thomas, Lorenzo, come, give him a hand. Fantastic, give him a hand.
Here he comes from Sacramento, California. He entertained you last night. You get a double helping. Jimmy Conwell.
Thank you. You know, music is a part of life, Danny. It's one of the thrills of young America. And young America has been responsible for most of the world's dance craze. We did the dance.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a great privilege to be DJing at the Togetherness Weekend as probably one of the main headline DJs. Back in the 70s, I was probably one of the 3 or 4 most well-known of all the Northern Soul DJs, and got out of it for a long time. Got really interested into it again when I made the documentary The Strange World of Northern Soul, and decided it was time to start DJing again. When I got back into it, I had kept quite a few good records from the past, but I'd sold most of them off, so a lot of the classics I just had a few bootleg pressings and stuff, and a few originals that I kept of favourites like the charades and stuff. But I think in the last 2 years I've feverishly been rebuying them back again. I think my collection of original records and a few sort of obscurities is pretty second to none, and I'm quite proud to be one of the headline DJs at Togetherness. It's probably the premier event of the year, and if I had to pick one single event that I'd like to DJ at, that would be it for Kevin Richard. I'm very excited, and it was a wonderful thing, especially with Frank Wilson on, to be able to get Frank Wilson over to do the most valuable legendary Northern Soul record of all time, and to be the DJ who went on just before he came on for like a good hour and a bit probably. It was a fantastic achievement. I'm very proud of it and very grateful to Kevin Richard for letting me have the main spot. Thank you.
The DJs are working fine. We've got a bigger lineup than ever this year. We've got guys from London, the Capital Soul Club, Tim Brown, Ian Levine back to his home roots in Blackpool, and it's just gone exceptionally well, and we're looking forward to a great party tonight for our final night.
And you've got Ginger Taylor and Chris King and of course Kev Roberts himself and Richard Serling. I mean, what a great DJ lineup.
Although I know my life will be where you work and die, but I love you. Oh, I love you.
Okay, Togetherness Weekend, what did we play? Let's look for a few of the classics here and see what we managed to play at it. There's so much stuff. Morris Chestnut, Too Darn Soulful. Jackie Lee, Darkest Days. Nice originals. Pookie Hudson, This Gets to Me. These are not in any order. This is totally unrehearsed, so I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. I'm just looking through my DJ ones and seeing what we actually did play there. So many to choose from. What have we got here? The Vonettes, Touch My Heart, another great forgotten classic. Earl Jackson, Soul Self-Satisfaction. Mark Jackson, I'll Never Forget You, absolute favourite. Van McCoy released in Britain as Chris Jackson, but the American copy says Mark Jackson. These are not in any order at all, so it's very hard to see exactly what was played at Togetherness. Looking for a few classics. Here we go. Jack Montgomery, Dear Beloved, another classic. And the perennial all-time favourite, Billy Woods, Let Me Make You Happy. Henry Pitcham with Sound. People think it broke at Wigan, it broke at the Mecca first. You Don't Love Me. The High Keys, Living a Lie. Absolute classic, still as valuable as ever. In fact, probably more valuable now than it ever was. God, there's some good records in here. Alice Clark, You Hit Me Where It Hurt Me. Bit of a tatty copy, but it's an original. Bob Ralph, Blow My Mind to Pieces. Absolute floor fillers, kept Togetherness jumping up and down. And of course, the greatest Northern Soul record ever made, Toby Legend, Time Will Pass You By.
I've got the DJs that I feel are the right DJs in those rooms to make the rooms work to full impact. So I'm not saying I don't want to DJ anymore, but I do feel I've got people that I can trust implicitly to make it happen, and by and large that's happened. So it's nice to do the DJing as a bit of a last minute thing really, but the main focus now has got to be on making sure the event runs smoothly.
Also DJing togetherness with the London bunch, the Capital Soul Club. The Capital Soul Club have every couple of months have a venue at a place in London called the Dome in Tufnell Park, which is fantastic. It holds nearly 1,000 people and it looks like a weekend casino inside. I mean, it smells and feels like a Northern Soul venue. And they're playing totally 60s. They are very, very dogmatic that they won't go into the 70s, which I think is a shame because I think there's room for both 60s and 70s. I personally equally like both. But the interesting thing about the Capital Soul Club boys, who DJ'd at Togetherness as well, is the fact that they are all in their 20s. Dave Flynn's in his 30s, but the rest are in their 20s. They're young, they're vibrant, they're fresh, and the future of the scene is when there's new blood coming in, not a bunch of 40-somethings or even 50-somethings lately, but the young, fresh, new blood in their 20s, and that's what's going to keep the scene alive for years to come. But they're really into their 60s music, seriously purists.
I'm one of the resident DJs at the Capital Soul Club, along with Irish Greg, Carl Fortnum, Alan Hanscom, and it's also run by a guy called Matt Johans. Kev asked us to go to Togetherness because we've been making good things happen down in London at a club called the Dome. Packing it out, it's once every other month, get 500 odd people coming through the doors. And it's mainly a 60s soul policy. We're not particularly into the 70s, that's not what our crowd seems to favour. We go for the lesser known, underplayed sounds, and that's what we wanted to do at Togetherness, to just show them what kind of sounds are happening down in London.
Just before we start the next portion, which will just lead us into tonight's entertainment, Barry Gordy once said, I earned $367 million in 18 years. That tells me I'm doing something right. That's partly because of Frank Wilson. Frank Wilson is one of our special guests coming up very shortly. I'm going to do 5 songs that Frank produced, not just for Motown, but for other labels. This is some of Frank's work.
Saturday night was very special because Frank Wilson, the discovery of him and the uniqueness of that record, which is now worth 15,000 quid, I think really fired the crowd up, and he was great. And I think once we'd, if you like, educated 1 or 2 people on who he was behind that record, with his productions with the Four Tops and the Supremes, etc., they really warmed to him.
All right. Yeah, well, obviously, I've been asked to comment on the record that everybody knows me by, which is obviously the Frank Wilson Indeed I Do on Soul. It goes without saying it's a very, very rare and valuable record, and I don't think there's many people out there on the soul scene that don't know the value of the record now at some £15,000. The record itself I had been chasing for a number of years, and the other known copy belongs to Tim Brown of Goldmine, and after harassing him on 2 or 3 different occasions to be told I would never ever get my hands on it. Matt and Coppels come up on auction, and it's like everything else. You go out your way when you want something badly enough, and that's what it costs to get the sound. Obviously, you know from the background music, we're at the Callagran Weekender here in Fleetwood, and what a fantastic night meeting Frank Wilson. And trepidation wasn't the word to describe how I felt when I was asking him to sign on the record itself, but I can reveal he wrote under the heading "Do I Love You?" he wrote "Indeed I Do, best wishes Kenny, Frank Wilson." So that will go with me to the grave, and what a fantastic night.
I'm amazed that Kenny Burrell paid £15,000 to own one of 2 known copies of this song, "Do I Love You, Indeed I Do," the original version. Of course, I believe that Billie Jean Brown, who was in charge of what do you call it, who was in charge of quality control, she kept a copy of literally everything, and it's hard for me to believe that she does not have a copy of not more than 1 copy. Tell you what, when I get home, I'm certainly going to look her up and see if I can't get something in. Trust me, if I find it, it's yours.
I talked about history. It's still the most talked about, sought after, harmless of them all. From Detroit.
Come on, brothers. Do I love you? Come on, men. Do I love you? Do I love you? Do I love you? Yeah, yeah. Come on, say it.
For those of you who may not already know, and I've told the story before, Barry Gordy and I had come to an agreement that I would not be an artist. I, in fact, had chosen to be a writer and a producer. I had already recorded one record as Eddie Wilson, A Toast to the Lady, and that was the one experience I needed in that particular medium. I wanted to be a writer and a producer. Therefore, when I did Do I Love You, Indeed I Do, initially it was done as a demo, and then we completed it as a master. And when Barry wanted to release that record, my heart really wasn't in it. And I think he really realized that when we stood backstage at the Fox Theater and talked about it. I'm glad that I became a writer and a producer, because I've produced literally millions upon millions of songs, record sales. And this one song, I mean, if you had to have a real taste of what it meant to be an artist, boy, this is the height, in my estimation, of what it means to be an artist, to be so adored and so appreciated, and to see fans that love you clear across the other side of the world. What a splendid opportunity I've been given in this life.
I just said to Frank when I was talking to him there before he's got in his cab back to London, his limo back to London, that I've never seen so many people respond to a track. I was at Major Lands at the Torch, and I've been at Wigan Casino and a lot of famous venues, but to see 1,500 people singing back to him was just, I can't imagine what it was like for him. He's never ever going to forget that. I don't think anybody that was there last night will. Fantastic.
Let me tell you something. When I walked out on that stage, when I felt the electricity in that room, when I felt the love and sensed the real unadulterated appreciation for a work that I had done many years ago, that has been loved indeed for many years, at the Soul weekend, at the all-nighter, I was blown away. Just the appreciation, just the acceptance to know that this is something that I did that long ago that has lived, and it has lived in the hearts and in the minds of these people. But not just that, but just performing before them and watching them. It was almost as though we were working in tandem, that somehow we had become partners, that we were all old friends that hadn't seen each other for a real long time. And I sensed that I was a part of what was going on there at that weekend. It was truly exciting. I don't know that it's anything that I'll ever have another opportunity to do, but I tell you what, the fact that I've done it this one time has impacted my life in a way that very few things have.
One record that's had a couple of spins at the Dome has proved to be popular is The Four Vandals, The Wrong Side of the Town, which Ian's just acquired, and he actually gave it his first airing in 30 years to the scene at Togetherness. A real belt of a track.
The Togetherness Weekend was not really the venue to be extra experimental. I mean, there's going to be 2,000 people in there. They want absolute classic oldies. You've got to play a couple of things. I mean, I wouldn't be Ian Levine if I didn't dig a couple of records out that no one knew. My greatest find at the moment is a record we used to play at Blackpool Mecca in the early 70s that seems to be so rare and disappeared without trace. And at the time of the actual weekend, the only person that had a copy I knew of was Phil Dick, and I managed to borrow his and play it. Since then I've been lucky enough, a friend of mine, Eddie Pierce, acquired a copy and I managed to buy it from a doo-wop collector in New York. But here it is, probably the biggest sound around at the moment, The Four Vandals, The Wrong Side of Town. Most fantastic late 60s New Jersey record, super rare. Nobody knows how to get hold of it. I was so lucky to get it, and it broke at the Togetherness Weekender. They were queuing up when I played it to find out what it was. That was the big record of the weekend, The Four Vandals.
Well, one of the things I'm definitely looking forward to at the Weekender is, you know, going through some of the record stalls and seeing what's on sale. Historically, I've always bought albums more than 7-inch singles, and I know to be like a real legitimate soul fan, you really need to have the original 7-inch. Well, that's what people tell me, and I guess to a certain extent it's true. Over the years, I guess coming from London, which is a slightly different mentality from coming from the north, I've collected 12-inch singles, I've collected albums, I've got a substantial collection. Sometimes I think that I've more or less got everything that I know, though occasionally, you know, when I go to Soul Brother Records, it's a store near me here in London, they'll uncover some amazing album I've never seen before in my life, and you know, they'll want to charge me a couple of £100 for it, and more often than not I indulge. But more recently, because I think I've got most of the albums I'm ever going to want now, I've started to expand on my 7-inch collection, and that's one thing I'm looking to explore a lot more this particular Weekender, is a lot of the 7-inch singles that are no doubt going to be on sale. Everything from, like, you know, the £5 records up to, you know, well, you know, I'm not going to be able to afford too much, but you know, some of the sort of bigger price ones as well.
It was great at Togetherness to see the legendary Tim Brown DJing. I mean, Tim said that he's the third of the super collectors, the first one being Bob Stevens, who was my inspiration. Bob was the first person I saw with a massive soul collection that I wanted to aspire to be like. And then when I used to write for Black Music magazine, Tim said he wanted to be like me. He wanted to have the lot, not just the northern ones, but the greatest soul collection. In my day I had 65,000 and sadly sold 55,000 more and only kept 10. Now I'm built it all back up again, I'm back where I was, but I lost a lot of great records by selling them off. I regret it greatly. I sold records, £10 a Waltz with the Admirations, that's worth at least a couple of grand now. I sold Carmelo Brooks, which I bought for a lot of money recently. I sold it for 8 pence, and with all the 8 pence records to Bernie Golding. So we've all made a lot of mistakes. There's all the Shrine stuff off cheap. I had every record nearly on Shrine. Tragic that I sold them off. But anyway, Tim's got them all, and it's great to see someone that knowledgeable actually DJing. I was knocked out to see him DJing.
Well, there's certain tracks which everybody seems to like and everybody seems to want, and nobody can get because they're just staying in collections. They might not be rare. They might only be a £100-200 record, which obviously is not a lot in collecting terms. But trying to obtain them, it becomes impossible. Records like Yvonne Baker or Rubin or Dana Valerie, just the well-known classics, they just don't come up for sale anymore. And when they do, sure, dealers want to put a premium on them, and who can blame them?
I never look to buy records just for the sake of it. I mean, I'm not going up there thinking I really want to expand my record collection, so let's spend as much money as I can possibly afford just buying records just to have in the collection. It's never really been about that for me. You know, if a record touches me, or it's something that I know I've been wanting for a while, or something looks interesting that I've not seen before, and I think maybe now's the only chance I'm going to get to buy this record, then, or if it's recommended by someone, they're the sort of things I'll be looking for.
Sounds that have proved to be popular down at the Dome, which we aired at Togetherness for the first time. Things like unissued September Jones track called Give Me All of Your Love, the Benny Spellman track, This One's For You, My Love, along with a few old forgotten Stafford rarities, Rod Keith and The Lord Said, Neurons,
The other big record we broke at the weekend was another forgotten Blackpool Mecca classic. This is by Robert Dobine, the guy who later on became a member of the Artistics, called I Can't Get Along Without You. It's the original version of a song that Maxine Brown did on Commonwealth. And I was in the 100 Club and I heard Eddie Crowsdale playing Maxine Brown. I went up to him and I said, we used to play a version of this for Blackpool Mecca. He said, nonsense. I said, yes, there was a male vocal and it was faster. And I went through all my old tapes and I found it and started searching for it. And because it was unknown, I managed to pick up a copy for 50 quid. It's probably now worth about 500. Most fantastic record. Robert Dobine, Can't Get Along Without You. And again, it re-broke at the Togetherness weekend.
One of the secret weapons that we've got here is Snake Davis and Suspicions. I think back in the 70s the live band was pretty poor and incidental to what was going on. I remember distinctly when I was at Wigan Casino having people like Jackie Wilson there and Betty Wright, who were absolutely fantastic performers. But sadly, the band left a lot to be desired. Today, with Snake Davis, they are so good that people actually want to come along just to see them alone.
And then Snake Davis hit the stage. Snake and his band. I mean, I ain't heard a band that kicked more ass than them for years, man. These guys, they got it.
I'm very pleased that Snake Davis is getting this following on the Northern Soul scene. He's been a sax player for many, many years. In fact, going back to some of the pop hits I did, like Take That's, A Million Love Songs, he was actually not only playing the sax on it, but actually went on top of the pops and did it. But his roots always have been in real soul. And anytime I needed a proper Motown-y kind of sax, I used to say, you know, come on Snake, think Junior Walker, and he would know exactly what I meant, and we'd have it within 5 seconds. The quickest and most skilled and efficient person I've ever seen. His band are fantastic, and he really understands Northern Soul. To do a bunch of songs like Summer Ride and Alfie Davidson's Love is Serious Business shows some serious credibility, and there isn't a better band in the country.
Yeah, Snake Davis and, as we were saying, I put the band together to back Bobby Patterson, Frank Wilson and Jimmy Thomas, and after having been involved in the scene for 15, 16, 17 years, this year we put our own set together as well, and a lot of people were asking how he picked the tunes, and my soul brother Dave, the bass player, and myself, we just been talking about this for 11 months now. I've been swapping tapes, listening to things. Richard Serling made some great suggestions, and so tunes like Summer Ride and Love Is Serious Business, we play them because we love them. You know, Meet Me at Midnight was another one. Open the Door to Your Heart. I mean, these are tunes that we've been buzzing around our heads for all these years. We thought it'd be great to do our own versions of them. And on the other side, being the backing bands for all these American artists, that's something that's also dear to our hearts, and we've got a great team doing that, as you've probably seen by now. And in the early days, you know, there just weren't really the musicians in the UK that were doing this job right. You know, horses for courses and all that, and you know, artists were coming over and just picking up the wrong kind of musicians, a session band, and it wasn't working. And I've got a bunch of true soul boys and soul girls who play this music with passion because they love it. And you know, you can't dance as well as you guys, but I mean, we feel it as much. And so that's why we put the band together. And that really dates back to Chris King phoning me about 17 years ago and saying, I believe you're Snake Davis when you play like Junior Walker. And well, he doesn't talk like that, does he? I can't do him, but he said, I've got Gene Chandler coming over. I went, who? And he needs a band. And that started it all off for me. We were already playing Stax, Atlantic, Motown music, but I hadn't discovered the whole Northern thing and all the rarities. But now I'm into that scene, and long may it last.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
You can't dance as well as you guys. You can't dance as well as you guys.
This is the last chance. Give it up, please. Who's going to win the Silver Cup? Be the top dancer, dancing competition, Carla Grant. Good luck to everybody. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way straight after this. Good luck. Last one. All 6 of you. Everybody knows it. Carla Grant, hands together. It's your weekend in Fleetwood. It's happening. Don't forget the football tomorrow. Yeah?
Yeah.
in. Over here, please. Over here, we're doing it the Butlins way. It's Carla Grant, it's Ollie Camp. Line up here, please. I know it's a bit old-fashioned. Come on. If you're in the competition, get over here. I need to see all of you. Come on. I'm sorry, we've got no second or third. It's one winner going to take this fabulous silver trophy. Silver, solid. Are we all in? Come on. Come on. You're here as well. Before we do go there, just get in a line, please, some sort of line, if you can, if you've got any strength left. Before we go through the final bit, judging, give them all a round of applause to kill themselves here. Right, good luck to you all. Shout and cheer when I put the cup over their head. Who you want to be the winner? One winner only. This guy here. Give him a cheer no matter what. This guy here, number 2. This lady here, number 3. This guy here, I think it's number 4. Number 5, this young lady. What's your name? What's your name, love? Where are you from? Do you know a lot of people here? First time. Last but not least. I'm not winding it out, we'll just do it one more time. I'm going back to 2 people. I'm sorry, this is what I think. Number 2. Number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carol. She's from Bolton. Gala Grand Togetherness 2000 Dancing Champion. Give it up, please.
And then from a real performance point of view, Bobby Patterson was absolutely fantastic. Whilst Frank Wilson possibly stole the show out of curiosity value, Bobby Patterson certainly did everything that we expected of him. And he was a real good Southern Soul star. Remarkable performance.
Bobby Patterson. Now, there's something interesting here. Bobby Patterson has the distinction of being the first artist to have a record covered up on the Northern Soul scene. Back in the days of the Twisted Wheel, the legendary pioneer Rob Bellers had this record by Bobby called What a Wonderful Night for Love. It came out in America on Jetstream, but it came out in Britain on a British label called Palmer, P-A-M-A, and it was still available and no one knew that. So Rob stuck labels all over the record, called it another artist, Benny Harper, who had a different record that was out, and called it What a Wonderful Night by Benny Harper, and everybody thought it was worth a fortune and didn't realise they could have gone into a record shop for I think 6 and 8pence or whatever it was at the time and bought a copy. So it was quite a scam and it was quite interesting. I don't know if Bobby ever knew this, but that was his first Northern Soul record to break, What a Wonderful Night for Love.
And on the other side of the coin, Bobby Patterson, who's a real deep soul man who came through so strong last night and has just in the modern room here done a separate set, which I think we're privileged to see. It's the sort of set he'd do in America, but never to that response. It was just absolutely awesome.
coming back to me. And I'm so happy that I can shout. So wait a minute. My baby's coming back to me. That's what it's all about. My baby's coming back to me. And I'm so happy that I can shout. Shout it! My baby's coming back to me. That's what it's all about. My baby's coming back to me. And I'm so happy that I can shout. My baby's coming back.
You know what? It's a long time since I sung this song. And y'all make me remember the words.
My baby's coming back.
When y'all sing it,
and I'm so happy that I can.
Everybody know the song, say it.
My baby's coming back to me. That's what it's all about. My baby's coming back to me.
Come on, let's shout, say it.
I'm so happy that I can shout. Coming back to me. That's what it's all about. My baby's coming back to me. I'm
Y'all making me do this so good, I don't want to leave. I heard this was an all-nighter.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the last hour and a half. And this Northern Soul scene is going to go from strength to strength because of its spectacularness and because of the kind of synergy that you see and that you yourself will become a part of. Thank you for looking in on us, and I know you did enjoy it.
sneaking around those familiar places, hoping no one's gonna see us. Hiding away from familiar faces, but nothing's gonna free us. There in the shadow of the night, staying far away from the light, not caring whether it's wrong or right. I can't think about anything but you. Secret doors to secret places, secret dreams and lipstick traces. Secret doors to secret places, with nothing behind us and no one can find us there. Find us there. Now we've been hiding up a little love. We've been trying through the public. I won't be crying the tears of a clown. Now that's quite a different subject. Now I don't care what the world may say. Nobody can take my love away. I wish I could shout it out today and let them know who matters more to me. Secret doors to secret places, secret dreams and lipstick traces. Secret doors to secret places, with nothing behind us and no one can find us. Doors to secret
the wonder of Wiener World.